Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Anirban Ghoshal. Welcome to this very special session under our ET Unwired series called Cutting Chai Stories, an Indianized version of what people globally often refer to as conversations over a hot cup of tea or coffee. The series is geared towards identifying leaders and understanding the very traits, routines, and thought processes that makes these leaders stand out in the industry across different sectors and verticals. During the conversation, we'll try to get a glimpse of the person, both professional and personal, who not only takes critical business decisions but ensures that the revenue clock keeps ticking. And today we have with us a very special guest, a technology leader with a rich experience. Without further ado, please let me welcome Ms. Elizabeth Jacob, Director and CEO, Athena BPO Private Limited. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for having me over. Pleasure is all mine.
So, without further ado, let's sort of start getting into the session. Often people say that a person is a mix of the experiences that they've had growing up. If you could sort of recite an anecdote that has changed your life forever or will stay in your life forever, maybe during your school days, maybe at your house, and that sort of affects your leadership style as well.
Actually, I have nothing much to talk about when I was young. Mine is a rather unusual story. I grew up in a middle-class family. I got married very early. My parents wanted me to become a doctor, but I seriously didn't have the marks to become a good doctor. And I finally decided to get married, and I got settled at the age of 20. So I went to school, I went to college, I did my science, and then all that I learned was that I need to work hard, I need to stand on my own feet, and I need to, not be dependent on anyone. So those are my deep thoughts that I was brought up with. You need to be disciplined in whatever you do, etc. So I started my career. What changed my life was when I got married, and I found that my husband was a very, very ambitious person. He really wanted to do well in life. And I realized that I had nothing, and I just had my graduation degree. And he basically inspired me to do what I do and to become, I think, what I've become. So it was more of him and his inspiration that actually got me to do what I'm actually doing.
So in all true sense of the word, the better half, isn't it?
Yes, the better half. True.
Elizabeth, we've been asking a lot of our leaders in these sessions that what has changed, during the pandemic. Is there anything that you've picked up, learned new during the pandemic that has sort of had a very positive influence in your life?
See, the pandemic has taught us a lot. Okay, I run a big company, and we have 4,000 people who work with us. And there is something called as everything is shut, and you can't let your business go away. So obviously it's taught you that you need to be prepared at all times. Okay, and you need to be able to take those bold calls and calls quickly. So what we decided was in the company that we need to, I'm sure you're aware that I run a fairly large BPO, and we decided that we need to work from home. When the pandemic started, one wasn't clear whether it would be, for 1 week, 10 days, etc. But then you realize that's going to be a way of life. So what I've actually picked up is we've changed the way that we do business. We can do business sitting at home, may not be the best way, but we didn't let our business stop. We continued every single day from April, 2nd. For the first 2 weeks, nothing was operational, but from April 2nd, we started the complete work from home scenario with the help of technology. So, today we have a mix of both work from home and work from office. So we are ready to, handle the way things come.
Right. So, anything that Elizabeth does today, but did not used to do before the pandemic?
Work from home. Work from home, run business from home. I never work from home. I never let my people work from home because I always believe that you need to be in the office and you need to, produce results for your clients. So work from home was a way of life, and it is currently also.
So do you think that this trend is going to stay? Do you think we will never get past this, or we will go back to what it was pre-pandemic?
I think we'll go back to what it was pre-pandemic, simply because my personal experience running my company has been that I run most of domestic sales processes. You can't really do a BPO voice work from home, because it doesn't give you the best results. The agents really don't have the facilities that you actually need. They come from lower middle class families. So what happens is they don't have many people who are sitting at home. So they don't have the best connection. They don't have space. You can give them the connection, but they don't have space. And they prefer to come to office. So when you run sales processes, there's a lot of motivation involved. There's a lot of team leader build. You can't do all that, you're sitting at home. So it is tough. So we've got, more than 75 people or processes where really sales is not the forte. Those people are called in the office.
Elizabeth, how would you define your leadership style? And then before you answer that, who would you consider your role model? And then why has he what have you imbibed from that role model?
Actually, my first boss, to a certain extent, where I worked, would be, I think, my role model. I looked up to him for everything in terms of his leadership style. He used to delegate. He used to believe that people would, deliver. He would show us the path on what to do, because I got into the BPO space very early in life. So I've learned all that. You need to trust people, and you need to trust people that they're going to be delivering, provided you, give them authority and you allow them to work. So my leadership style, if you have to ask me, is very inspirational. A lot of people, I became my boss finally. So I give people the opportunity. I motivate people. I am more of a problem solving kind of a person, provide them solutions, and I'm a more go-to kind of a boss, not like a promoter or director. My ears are to the ground, so they can come to me for immediate solution. So that's more of my leadership style.
You said that you've become your own boss, but people actually say that true leaders never stop learning, right? So how are you sort of keeping up? What new improvements you're looking at? What new skills you're looking to add on to yourself?
My leaders are my clients. I've learned a lot from my clients. Everything that I am, I owe it to a couple of my large clients who've been with me. They've also grown from positions of they were junior 20 years back, and they're all senior people today. So whatever I've learned in terms of how do you handle growth and how do they handle larger organizations is what I pick up from them. So most of my learning has been from my clients ever since I've been on my own.
Okay, so moving on, what are your hobbies, and have you added on a new hobby, post the pandemic, working from home?
Not really, because being a lady, I need to manage my home and office. Both are equally responsible. It was very tough initially when I had to work from home. Like I said, my company never stopped a single day. We produced numbers, and we actually delivered for all our clients. We were the first domestic BPO to actually work from home in a VPN environment. It wasn't known. My technology team put it up almost instantly because we realized this is a long time. No particular hobby. It's just that I had to learn to manage both often office and home well.
Right. Like a lot of women working from home probably opened eyes for their better half that it's probably much more difficult for them than it's for us. Moving on. What are your if we could do a sort of a quick rapid fire question round like you would do on a show like Coffee with Karan, right? What's your favorite show?
I love Coffee with Karan.
Oh, okay.
I love Hindi serials.
Okay.
People wonder how do I see it, but that just lets me unwind. I just love it.
Okay. Anything that you're watching on Netflix recently? Netflix, Amazon.
Just some movies that come out. Not really.
Okay. Who is your favorite actor?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay. Who's your favorite singer? Or what genre of songs do you like?
Not particularly fond of songs, but I like dance and I like just music. So not
Okay.
particularly fond of songs.
Okay. Who's your favorite author? And what's your favorite book?
I don't read much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't read much.
Okay. Is it because you don't have the time, right? I mean,
Not really. I've not been into reading.
okay.
And
Um,
yeah, that's what. I've not been
oh,
really into reading.
okay. With that, sort of, let me welcome Mr. Aditya Agrawal, who is the head of large enterprises sales at Lenovo. Welcome, Aditya.
Hey Anirban, how are you? Hi Elizabeth.
Hi.
So good to have you back, Aditya. Let me start with you, Aditya. What are some of the challenges faced by the industry in 2021? Is there any innovation that you are seeing, and how do you think you can get prepared for it in the coming years?
So Anirban, the challenges kind of continue, right? Because it's been 1 year that we have all been working from home, and it obviously has its challenges. Like Elizabeth called out, it is not the perfect scenario, but how do you keep people motivated, and keep them performing? Because it's been 1 year and nowadays the restrictions are even higher. The second wave has been brutal, right? So how do you keep them motivated? And there is of course unpredictability on supply chain, on material. Those are the challenges, but what I see happening is technology coming forward and a lot of innovation coming forward. So if we look at innovation all around us, just in India we see a mind-boggling pace where new and new things are coming, right? So we are also looking at innovation in supply chain, on customer service. For example, customer service was the first thing to be impacted when the whole COVID came up, because people had to support people sitting at home and they didn't have their colleagues, they didn't have those processes. We had to set them up, and we had to innovate. To give an example, when it was at its peak, we had to actually do mobile vans where people would go to our customer support. People would go near apartments or near our customers' offices and repair the laptops and give them back, right? So while we don't continue that right now, there's immense innovation happening, and we can't solve this problem without innovation, right? Because these are new problems and new thoughts have to happen. So I think the industries are coping well, and technology is going to be the difference maker to help us come out of this.
Elizabeth, your take on the same. You want me to sort of repeat the question?
If you could.
Okay. Uh, what are some of the challenges faced by your industry in 2021? What kind of innovation are you expecting to see? And then how are you going to get prepared for it in the coming years? So in short, what are you planning and what are you seeing post the new normal?
Like I said, my company runs more of sales processes. So the need for actually, getting them to office is our immediate, way forward. Because what happens is for all processes that involve back office, that can easily be done, and that's what we're doing from home. But from work from office, we've set up our VPN network where we have access to clients' data. So data security is a must. So we definitely have that in place. We have dedicated VPN setups for each client, and we believe that sales processes running from home is going to be tough because results don't really come. So we would have a balance of work from office and work from home. Fortunately for us, a lot of people stayed close by. So and we hired like that. So a lot of people could come home, could come to office and work walking when the public transport was open, or they have two-wheelers. But in terms of innovation for sales processes, we yet need to come across on how would we actually, do it well. But, clients tend to compare productivity at home, productivity versus office. And it's distinctly different for us. And, the same process being done at home and same process being done in office, the results are actually dramatically different. So there's a need for us, like for example, we have a complete DIY journey for our clients. It's all do it yourself. We're not in the business of just giving information or communicating to clients. We need to complete the transaction. So today, I believe post-COVID, we have a lot of opportunity in this business, provided we know how to give them the results. So you need to have the right technology, the right mindset, recruit different people, different type of people who have the facilities also to operate from home. Because operating from home, because you can hear children screaming at the background, clients don't, appreciate it at all. We give them a noise cancellation headset. That's what the maximum we can do. But the environment you can't really create because you need to convince the customer. And all calls are recorded. I mean, whatever calls that the agent makes, it's centrally recorded from my office. So, those are challenges when they need to produce those kind of results. They need help. If I'm doing a DIY journey for a client for a, home loan sanction on the phone, the call is 50 minutes. So, he can't ask for the team leader's help. So those are the challenges that we face. And the way forward is going to be very, very clearly do it yourself, because I disburse loans on the phone. It's a 3-click journey where we have to do, and the call and the money gets into the client's account. So data confidentiality becomes a big challenge. So these are some of the challenges, that are there. So there are certain processes which we believe cannot work from home, and we will not work from home because clients don't give you the approvals. There are multiple, I have access to my client systems. So if I have access, that they will never give you, and I don't want it either. So, it is actually a difficult time.
No, absolutely agree with the new regulations coming up and with GDPR already in place, and with us relying as the human race more and more on data, I think necessary barriers in place are required. With that, we come to an end of the session of Cutting Chai.